Very good morning to all those who are joined from United States and a very good evening to those who are joined from India. A greetings from UNICEF, Youth4Water Plus, Sant Nirankari Charitable Foundation and Satik Soul Foundation. I welcome you all to the captivating panel discussion on AMRIT, clean water and soul. Youth for Water Plus is a UNICEF supported campaign in the state of Odisha in India that has already inspired 500,000 and trained 20,000 youth as wash guardian for action on climate change, safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. I am Lala Niranjan Prasad Rai, one of the project manager from Tata Stripe. Tata Stripe is a skill development initiative of Tata Community Initiative Trust under the aegis of Tata Trust, addressing the pressing issue and need of skilling India's youth for employment, entrepreneurship, and community enterprise. Also, a partner of Youth for Water Plus, working with 25,000 plus youth across the state of Odisha, India. I welcome you all to this panel discussion, and I request you to share your valuable thoughts and inputs here. Today on this panel, we have Joginder Sukhijaji, Secretary Sant Nirankari Charitable Foundation. Joginder ji is a prominent philanthropist, a social worker who currently serves as the Secretary of Sant Nirankari Foundation, a non-profit organization based in India that works towards promoting social welfare and community development. The foundation is affiliated with Sant Nirankari Mission, a spiritual movement that promotes universal brotherhood, peace, and human values. In addition to his role in Sant Nirankari Foundation, Joginder Sukhijaji is also a member of Rotary Club and has actively participated in various initiatives undertaken by the organization. He is also associated with Lions Club and has contributed towards several of their community development projects. Joginderji, a highly respected social worker and philanthropist who has dedicated his life to serving the community and promoting social welfare. Welcome, Joginderji. Next in the panel with us, Rakesh Murtujaji. Rakeshji is a prominent youth expert, social activist, and a spiritual believer associated with Sant Nirankari Charitable Foundation. He has also actively involved in various social welfare initiatives and has made significant contribution towards the upliftment of the underprivileged in the community. As a youth expert, Rajesh ji has been actively involved in empowering young people and promoting their participation in social welfare activities and creating opportunity for the young people to volunteer and contribute towards social cause. He has conducted several training programs and workshops for young people on leadership, communication skill, and community development. In addition to his work in Sant Nirankari Charitable Foundation, he also associated with Rotary and Lions Club and actively involved in several of their community development initiatives and contributing and promoting social welfare and community development. Through his work, he is inspired many young people to become agent of change and has worked towards building a more peaceful and harmonious society. Welcome Rakesh ji to this panel.
Thank you, Mr. Lalare.
We have a very active and innovative youth leader with us in this panel. He is Aditya Chaudhary. Aditya ji is an accomplished professional with a strong background in engineering and business management. He holds an MBA in marketing and finance from Birla Global University, and his technical expertise includes digital data analytics, the digital marketing, among some few. In 2019, Aditya joined Odisha government, where he currently works with Mo College Abhiyan, a platform that aims to to implement social and technological integration among college in the state. This initiative is first of its kind in Odisha and a testament to Aditya's commitment of using technology and innovation to drive social campaign. In addition to his work, Aditya is also actively involved with various social groups and community development activity. He understands the importance of giving back to the community and is passionate about making a positive impact in the lives of others. Welcome, Aditya ji, to this panel.
Thank you, Lalaji.
Last but not the least, we have Professor Chandrabhanu Patnaik, an expert in indigenous knowledge and culture, and social entrepreneur based in Odisha, India, who is widely recognized for his contribution towards the promotion of indigenous knowledge society. He is the founder director of Institute of Knowledge Society, called as KIKS, a non-profit organization that work towards creating an indigenous knowledge-based society through research, training, and consultancy. He has also been a filmmaker in his early professional career. Professor Patnaik is highly experienced academician who has worked in uh, capac- various capacity in the field of education. He has served as a faculty member at several prestigious institutes, including the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and the Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai. He has also served as the Vice Chancellor of the Centurion University of Orissa and Vice Chancellor of the Himgiri G University of Uttarakhand. Professor Patnaik,
This
Professor Patnaik is also a renowned development community communication expert specialized in media and culture. He is a Commonwealth Scholar and an alumni of McGill University, Canada. He has more than 30 years of rich experience in working with tribal community and developing audiovisual content for various national and international agencies. Professor Patnaik is a highly respected academician and social entrepreneur who has made significant contribution towards the promotion of knowledge society. Through his work at the Institute of Knowledge Society and other initiatives, he has played a pivotal role in shaping the discourse around education and research and has worked towards creating more inclusive and equitable society. Welcome, sir, to this panel.
Thank you, Lala. May I suggest that you switch off your video because your voice is breaking very badly. So I think there is a network issue.
Uh, okay,
I
sir.
think all of us can hear clearly, sir. Can you please shift to a place where you have a little better network? Because all of us can see and listen to him.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. With your permission, I welcome each one of you once again on behalf of UNICEF, Youth4Water Plus, Sant Nirankari Charitable Foundation, and Shaktik Soul for this panel discussion. As today we are going to discuss about water and spirituality. So let me start this session with a spiritual mantra. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The last line is Mrutyurma Amritam Gamaya. From death to Amrit. Amrit. The term Amrit is a Sanskrit word that refer to the divine nectar that grant immortality to the god and goddess. Water is often referred to as Amrit because life is impossible without water. It is believed that its purifying and healing property as it is one of the 5 elements from which the human body is made. Let it be Abe Zamzam or holy water or Charanamrit. In many rituals, water is used for purification and is offered to deities as a symbol of purity and devotion. However, in the developed However, in the quest of mindless development, we have disrespect the celestial gift, turned this nectar into poison. Let's watch the film. One such example, a village where mining activity, which is a development for that village, have destroyed not just the forest, but also the water source. So I would request my co-host Smriti to play that video for you.
ଆମ କୋଡ଼ିବସା ଗ୍ରାମର 130 ଘରରେ ବସବାସ କରୁଛୁ। 130 ଘର ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଆମର ପାଣିର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ସମସ୍ୟା ଆମର ଯଦି ବା ହେଇଛି ଆମର ପାଣିର ସୁବିଧା ଆମର ଟ୍ୟାପ୍ ଏମିତି କରାହେଇଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ କୌଣସି ମଧ୍ୟ ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ ପାଣି ପାଇପାରୁନାହୁଁ।
ଆମେ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଗରିବ ଲୋକ, ଆମେ କେଉଁଠି ପାଣି ପିଇବୁ? ପିଇବା ପାଇଁ ତ ଆମର ସବୁଦିନ ପାଇଁ ଅସୁବିଧା ରହୁଛି। କେତେ ଦୂରରୁ ପାଣି ଆଣିକି ବି ପିଉଛୁ ଆଜ୍ଞା। ଆମର ପାଇପ୍ ବି କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି, ପାଇପ୍ ବି କ'ଣ କୁଆଡ଼େ କ'ଣ ଫାଟିଯାଇଛି, କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ସେଇଟା ବି ନାହିଁ। ଆମର ବୋରିଂ ଖୋଳା ହେଇଛି ଏଇଠି, ବୋରିଂ ଖୋଳା ହେଇଛି। ସେ ବୋରିଂରେ ବି ଆମର କ'ଣ ମେସିନ୍ଟା କ'ଣ ଖରାପ ହେଇଛି, ସେଇଟା ବି କାହାରି ବି ନଜର ନାହିଁ।
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କେବଳ ଖାଲି ଆମର 130 ଘର ଭିତରେ ଯେତିକି ଆମର ଅଛୁ ସେ କୂଅ ଉପରେ ହିଁ ନିର୍ଭର କରୁଛୁ। କୂଅରେ ହିଁ ଯାହା ଏମିତି ପିଇବା ବାବଦରେ ସବୁ କିଛି ଚାଲୁଛି, ଆଉ ନହେଲେ ଆଉ ସେମିତି କିଛି ନାହିଁ। ବଡ଼ ଅସୁବିଧାରେ ଆମେ ସମ୍ମୁଖୀନ ହେଉଛୁ।
ପିଇବା ପାଣି ସମସ୍ୟା ଆଜ୍ଞା, ଦୁନିଆର ସବୁ ସୁବିଧା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଉପଲବ୍ଧ ଅଛି, ହେଲେ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ପିଇବା ପାଣିର ସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। ସରକାର ବାକି 3 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲା ଟାଙ୍କି ବସେଇଛନ୍ତି, ପାଣି ପାଇପ୍ ବିଛେଇଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ ଟ୍ୟାପ୍ ବି ଲଗେଇଛନ୍ତି ଆଜ୍ଞା, ହେଲେ ପାଣି ବାକି ଆସିବାର ନାହିଁ। ଆଉ ମାଇନ୍ସ ଏରିଆ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥିବେ, ନାଲି ଗୋରି ଧୂଳି ବାଲି ସବୁ ଉଡ଼ି ଆସୁଛି ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ଆମ ଗାଁରେ ଆଗରୁ ପାଣିର ବହୁତ କଷ୍ଟ ଥିଲା, କାରଣ ଆମ ଗାଁରେ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟାଏ କୂଅଟିଏ ଥିଲା, ଆଉ କିଛି ନଥିଲା। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ପାଣି ପାଇଁ 2 କୋଶ ବାଟ ଯିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା। ହେଲେ ଆଜି ଆମେ ସାଙ୍ଗମାନେ ମିଶିକରି ଆଉ ଆମ କ୍ଲବ୍ ପିଲା ମିଶିକରି ଗୋଟେ ଗାଡ଼ିଆଟିଏ ଖୋଳିଲୁ। ସେ ଗାଡ଼ିଆକୁ ଝରଣା ପାଣିରୁ ବାଟ କାଢ଼ିକିନା ପାଣି ସବୁ ଗାଡ଼ିଆକୁ ପଠେଇଲୁ। ତ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଗାଡ଼ିଆଟା ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଗୋଟେ ପୋଖରୀରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇଛି। ଆଉ ଆଜି ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ପୋଖରୀଟା ଅଛି ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଇ ପୋଖରୀରେ ଆମର ଗାଁ ଲୋକ ସବୁ ନିର୍ଭର କରନ୍ତି ପାଣି ପାଇଁ। ଆଗରୁ ଖାଲି କୂଅଟିଏ ଥିଲା, ଆଜି କୂଅଟିଏ ଆଉ ପୋଖରୀଟିଏ ଉପରେ ଆମ ଗାଁ ଲୋକ ପାଣି ପାଇଁ ପୁରା ନିର୍ଭର କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ନିଜର ଗାଧୁଆ ନିତ୍ୟ ବ୍ୟବହାର ଜିନିଷ ଯାହା ସବୁ ପୋଖରୀରେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଏଇଆ ହିଁ ଆମେ ଆଜି ଦେଖିକରି ଆକୁ ଖୁସି ଲାଗୁଛି, କାରଣ ଆଜି ଆମ ଗାଁରେ ଆଉ ପାଣି ପାଇଁ ସେତେ କଷ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁନାହିଁ।
Wonderful. Thank you, Smriti. The film has both a happy and sad side. The sad is the villagers to see them, and but the youth of the village taking the problem as a challenge and join the hands to find a solution was like Amrit for a dying soul. With this, I would like to ask my very first question to Joginder ji. Uh, as you are associated with a spiritual organization, so in this film, as you see, the youth, you know, they come across and they raise above their self-interest and do something for their village. Do you think this is a kind of spirituality, sir?
Uh, Definitely, this selfless service to the fellow human beings is a spiritual being only can do this. We have been taught at Nankari Mission. I quote from Baba Hardev Singh Ji Maharaj's Bani, निरीक्षित निष्काम सेवा अमृत के समान है. Desireless, selfless seva is to divine nectar akin. Any service done with desireless people, with the selfless people, is like Amrit. And Amrit is a spiritual word, as you are saying, referring to just in your introduction. It is a nectar which gives life to a dead person, which is sign of life. Spirituality comes when you are above your narrow self-interest. Giving up self-narrow interest is not possible by the human being on its own. It is possible only if he is spiritually enlightened. A spiritually enlightened being who knows that all human beings on this earth are his fellow brother and sisters. They are all children of one God. Only then one can realize that he has to serve all fellow human beings. And when service is done without expecting anything in return, that service is definitely spirituality. And in this film, whatever is shown that young people are doing for their fellow villagers by arranging water, making efforts selflessly, definitely this is spirituality.
Thank you, Joginder ji. As you said, that deed above self-interest is definitely spirituality. Thank you for your words. With this, I will move to Aditya ji. And before going to Aditya ji, I would request all the viewers, those who are watching us on YouTube, to please do like and subscribe us and share your valuable comments and question in the chat box. Our partners will pick up the questions and will be asked to the panelists. So Aditya ji, as Joginder ji say, spirituality, this is also a spirituality, and spirituality means selfless service to for a cause like water. So how can we nurture this in the youth, as you are associated with youth? So how can we nurture in the youth, especially nowadays?
Like already Joginder sir already told that service is ultimate purpose of our actions. So the thing is, now the young guys are trying to take happens, they are blaming to the government. So what I suggest, so let's like Youth for Water Plus campaign. We have several campaigns that is run, that is run.
Aditya ji, we are losing your voice. Mm.
Okay, sorry, someone muted me.
It's
What I suggest, the spirituality with you connect to the youth with the spirituality through the water to minimize the waste we generate. The reduce, use, recycle, and compost. So like this thing, we can circulate this message to the youth and mobilize the youth for the better cause. So the message will go through the downstream. Like the video has been shown by us in the Keonjhar district, a mine-prone area. There, somebody is taken up the charge, or somebody taken the leadership to do the initiative. So we should be responsible for developing that kind of leaders. That leader will, like that leaders will grip some youth nearby for a change. So this will connect across the globe. So the water problem, the water issue is not a countrywide issue. It is a global issue right now. I'm just scrolling the internet. I've just seen some in 2018. Some Cambodians has like more than 30 plus villages is dried by the waters. So without water they are not surviving, they're dying rapidly. So immediately UNESCO and UNICEF has taken a call and they've taken a drive. So now they have a issue, they have a very good kind of rainwater harvesting stuff. So these things changes we need through the like some kind of messages and reels, what can be understood by the youth to motivate them for the better cause.
Yeah. Thank you, Aditya ji. And I will definitely come back to you on this RRR, reuse, recycle, and reduce. And as you said, definitely it's not a problem of Odisha or that particular village. That just one of the cases which was highlighted, but definitely it's a global problem. And we have to identify people like these young leaders. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
With this, I'll move to Rakesh ji. As Aditya ji said, better practice and youth. So, Rakesh ji, as you have already worked with youth, so my question is, how can you incorporate spiritual practice? Maybe it's a prayer or meditation into this young people, and how can or what effort we can give so that you know they can think on uh, this side of water sanitation or promoting a deeper connection with the water and nature.
Thank you, Mr. Lalare, for having given me this opportunity to speak on this topic and this specific question. According to me, in my perspective, rather the perspective that we have all gained from our mission, the Sant Nirankari mission, what our masters in the mission have taught us, spirituality, I think, is not only about prayer and meditation. Spirituality is more about awareness. Because the moment I know the truth, my actions would themselves become meaningful. Any amount of prayer, any amount of meditation cannot save the entire water or the little water that we have on this planet, but awareness can do. So spirituality is being aware. And when we talk about awareness, it is about knowing the larger picture. Because this micro vision is what is killing this planet. If we shift our focus from a micro vision to a macro vision, not thinking selfishly and only about ourselves and about today, rather thinking about everyone, the generations, the posterity to come, and of course about the tomorrow to come. This is the macro vision. To look at this entire universe and understand that AMRIT, this water, has been gifted only to this planet, at least in the known history of science, astronomy. We know that Earth is the only planet which has potable water, which can give life. And that too, which is minuscule, very, very less in comparison to the entire water that we have. So spirituality, in true sense, when we understand that the God Almighty, or the creation, here, whether it is you were talking about Amrit or the water being one of the Panch Mahabhut. So when we realize that each part of nature, the Panch Mahabhut, Jal, Prithvi, Vayu, Agni, Akash, all of them have been contributing, are contributing from millions of years and will continue to do so selflessly. And I, being a part of this very nature, have the same responsibility. This is the macro image. And the moment I separate myself from nature, I become selfish. So the only thing that we need to do is, or the service that spirituality can do to the society, to the mankind through the youth, is making them aware that we are nature. I am water. I am 70% of my body is water. Why can't I understand this? So the moment I get the understanding that I am this universe, I am Brahmasmi, I will start caring for myself because I am water, I am earth, I am Akash, I am air, I am everything. So I will try, and this is what we've been taught. Baba Hardev Singh Ji Maharaj, our Sadguru, he told us that pollution of anything and everything, whether it is inside or outside, is harmful. So it's not only talking about water. So we are talking about water today, but it is about every resource: noise pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, conserving each and every resource. And of course, water is essential. We know that water, Rahimanji very clearly said, Rahiman pani rakhiye. A saint, centuries ago, he said, Rahiman pani rakhiye, bin pani sab soon. Pani gaye na ubare, bin moti manas choon. So nothing can survive in this world without water. We need to be aware of this fact. And this, according to me, this, according to the mission's ideology, is spirituality.
Thank you so much, Rakesh ji, for this inspiring words of yours. And definitely, as you said, you give a different dimension to the spirituality, I believe. That is what awareness and awareness of yourself. And talking about the spirituality and the spiritual knowledge, uh, let's move to the expert of indigenous knowledge, uh, Professor Patnaik, who is with us. Sir, my next question with you, that you are working with different tribes, as I said in my earlier introduction. So, sir, could you help us or share how this tribe connect with water or this Panch Mahabhut, and specifically water, and how do they associate with water? So, is there any story or is there any of your experience you would like to share?
Yes. There are many stories. I have worked with indigenous peoples around the world. And I know from the top of my head several stories. But let me just, since we are talking about spirituality, let me just point out one thing. For the indigenous person, she or he does not make a distinction between spiritual and non-spiritual. That's very important, because for the indigenous person, everything is spiritual, and there is no such thing as non-spiritual. So, but spiritual in a different sense from what we think of spiritual in our modern understanding of spiritual. Let me just give you an example. One of the communities in North America that I worked with, when they enter into their own forest, they live in their forests. When they enter into their forest, before entering into their forest, they stop at the edge of the forest, and they say, "I greet you, O forest, so that I can walk among you."
Wow.
This is how they enter into the forest. Okay, and then they, it's a very fascinating principle that they think they go through. Now, for them, the world is very simple. Okay, we are the people who make it complicated. Okay, now the owner of the mountains, the forests, the water lives inside you. Okay, I am not water, I am not forest, I am not mountain. The owner of the mountains and the forests and the water lives inside of you. So therefore, you are the guardian of the forest, of the water, of the land. The people who, like us, the modern quote unquote people, want to, instead of being guardians, they want to be owners. Okay, so the ownership is responsible for actually making the earth or destroying the earth and making its own people homeless. Okay, so this is the way that they look at it. It speaks, you know, when they say that the owner of the forest, the owner of the water is inside me. They say that that owner of the forest which is inside me speaks in sacred words to all living beings here. Okay, including you, I, and everybody. It speaks in sacred words to all of us. Only problem is we don't hear the sacred words because we have decided that quote unquote development needs to be done, and therefore in order to make development you need ownership. Okay, now as a result of which we go ahead and destroy land property. I'll give you another example. An old woman lives in the forest. Her granddaughter has gone to the big city to study. She comes back after 6 years after studying. So the grandmother is telling the granddaughter, I once had a granddaughter who went to study in the city for 6 years to learn about things that our people have known from the beginning of time. So this is where the difference lies, and I think we as modern educated so-called educated modern human beings need to be sensitive and aware of this other knowledge system. We are so arrogant about the fact that we know it all, that our knowledge is the best, the greatest. Scientific knowledge is the greatest. That we have forgotten that there are many other knowledge systems that are, if not better, at least as valid as ours. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And as correctly said, if you feel that you are the owner of the resource, then definitely there will be chances of misuse. But if you use it as a guardian, definitely you will use it and protect it and keep it for the future. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful tales and experience. With this, I'll come back to Rakesh ji, as he said, and he also quoted his Guru Dev, that a cleaner inside, cleaner outside as well. So as you said, definitely it's important to clean your inner self uh, also, along with the outside. So I just wanted to ask you, or rather I would request you to sir, please throw some more light and say something about more that the cleanliness of inner side and outer side, sir.
Yes, Lalare, it's so important to talk about the inside. All our shastras, all the mantras that we recite in our temples and according to our Vedic norms also, they continue to say Namaha at the end of each shloka. Like we say Om Namaha Shivaya, or we say Om Shri Guruve Namaha. So do you understand the meaning of Namaha? No. Let me clarify this to you. There are two words, Namaha, and the opposite of Namaha is Manaha. Man and Nam.
Yes.
Manaha and Namaha. So the journey of Manaha is all about the outside world. And the journey of Namaha is the inside journey. So we need to, in retrospective or in our perspective, change our vision from outside to inside. As Professor Patnaik just very rightly said, that it's about knowing that we are holding something within us as a guardian, and we need to protect and save that. And when this journey comes from Manaha to Namaha, we nurture our mind. It's not about the soul. The soul is already pure. The soul is Amrit. The soul can never die. Lord Krishna goes on to say, Nainam chintanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha. Na chainam kledin tyapo na cha shoshati marutaha. The soul cannot be destroyed by water or by fire or by weapons. It is the mind which is polluted. It is the mind which starts becoming selfish and holds ownership of things in this world. So if I purify my mind, if I cleanse my mind, if I channelize my mind, if I make my mind aware, the Amrit, what has to be made Amrit is the mind. And mind is the seat of all intentions that we hold. The moment I have positive intentions, the moment I have good intentions, the moment I have constructive intentions, they would lead to constructive and powerful action. So at the micro level of intentions, when we start working, making our intentions pure, our thoughts pure, thoughts would lead to actions, and actions to habits, and habits to the destiny of this beautiful planet, so that we do not reach that stage wherein we have to repeat those words by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the poem which says that water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink.
How wonderful, sir. And thank you so much for this. And if I'll sum it up, that once Gandhiji said, if you want to see changes outside, you have to make that changes inside first, and then these changes in outside will definitely happen. Thank you so much. With this, I will come back to Aditya ji. And Aditya, as you said, reduce, reuse, and recycle. And if I'll sum it up, Rakesh ji and Professor Patnaik, there are a lot of old values, culture, and there are some sacred things earlier used to be there, which they feel that they're protector, and they are doing some practice to save their resources. So as you are working with more college, so can there be any any syllabus or any spiritual habit we can put into this new generation, so that they can have this habit while they are growing up, or any blended spirituality session or conversation with the
we are planning this with we have already discussed with the scheme. We are going to initiate gel. So this is basically the students of each and every college across Odisha will be responsible for their own college. So everything started from a blended place. So what we have planned, let's start from their own college. So they will have like not only water, some practices like energy efficient systems and they will make awareness to the farmers, and also the ponds beside them and river beside them. They will have tea of the students with the leaders of the creators and professors. So they will go and visit and educate the villagers and clean them. And what we expect, let's start it. We are expecting to start it by the April or May. So we are on it. It is on a process. So what we can do for our so this might be an example for the country also. But it's a submitted in the state order. This we are adopted by our state, and we can see example like that the tribes has done this.
Thank you, Aditya. I hope there is some technical glitches, but if I'll sum it up, Aditya, what Aditya has to say that definitely there is a lot of scope and it need a lot of collaboration with not only college youth, school, college, and other different colleges. And as he said, definitely this practice has to start from the college, and definitely the government is also planning something from the 1st of April, so that they can work on. RRR, reduce, reuse, and recycle. And as I'm also working with youth across Odisha, we have also project-based learning where we are, giving them some project on sustainability, and there are most of the project are on safe environment and water, and which are aligned to UN SDG. So with this, thank you, Aditya ji, and I'll come back to again to Professor Patnaik, sir. I would all again I would like to request if you have any incident or any practice that indigenous people do to save water or to protect their any doable thing. What starting from tomorrow people can do what they are doing. Is there any practice you have? Please share.
Yeah. Now, let me. I'll tell you what they do, but let me tell you a story.
Yeah,
This
sure,
is
sir.
from one of the. This is from one of the tribes in Odisha. So many years ago, there was a village which was very prosperous, but it didn't have water. They used to go many miles to collect water from various sources and bring, and they were struggling. So one day, the chief of the village decided that we should have water in our village. So he started thinking, how can we get water in our village? And the thing that came to his mind was that just as we grow vegetables, just as we grow, um,
Crops.
pulses, crops, um, we can also grow water. So he sent his people in all four directions to find the seed of water, pani manji,
Yes.
which they can put in the earth and it will grow. So all the people went in different directions, east, west, south. They could not find any pani manji or the seed of water. The fellow who had gone north found some ice. So he brought it back and he gave it to the chief and said, "This is the pani manji." So what did they do? They dug a hole in the mud and put that in the mud and covered it. Then they waited for 3 weeks. Nothing happened. They waited for another 3 weeks. Nothing happened. So then the fellow said, something is wrong. I think maybe we made a mistake in planting. So let us dig and take out the seed and see what we can do. So they started digging. When they started digging, they did not find any seed. So they went on digging until about 12, 15 feet. And suddenly water came. So that became the fountain of water from which their progeny grew, their tribe grew. Okay, so this is the story. This is how they. It's one of the stories. Now, how do they preserve water? How do they? They do not look at water as one thing. They look at everything, the entire universe, as being sustainable. For example, I do not know of any tribal language or indigenous language anywhere in the world which has a word for waste. There is no word for waste in any tribal language, anywhere. Okay? Everything is usable, and therefore, it helps in sustaining the universe. Okay? So therefore, it's not just water that they are looking at. It is sustainability that they are interested in. How do you sustain the environment as a whole? Water cannot be removed from the rest of the elements. Okay? So for them, it's very important to look at how do you sustain the universe. I'll give you one small example. I was many years ago, I think about 30 years ago, I was making a film in the forests on the border of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. Very deep forest, and there's one tribe there called Jenu Kuruba. They're a nomadic tribe inside the forest. They only survive on the roots of trees. So they eat only roots of trees, different roots, so different tastes. But the entire tribe, when they dig the root, they will take out large chunks of the roots of the trees, but they will always, without fail, put back a small piece of the root into that hole and cover it. They will eat the root, but they will always put a small piece of the root back into the ground so that it regenerates. Okay. So therefore, they look at sustainability as a whole rather than looking at, preserving water or preserving forest or preserving land or whatever. They look at everything being part of one whole this thing. Now let me just give you one very simple example. The indigenous communities always, when we talk of our language is a noun-based language. All modern languages are noun-based languages. In other words, we describe things. Okay? They're descriptive. So therefore, we make distinctions between water and tree and flower and land and mountain and whatever. The tribal languages across the world are verb-based languages. which means that they talk about doing, they talk about action rather than description. Okay, so therefore, for them, doing is more important than describing. For us, who believe in learning from books, learning from historical texts, we talk about, descriptive language, and therefore our knowledge is repetitive and is based on the word WORD, whereas their knowledge is non-repetitive and based on the word WORLD. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And what a great story from the master storyteller himself. And it was really wonderful. I think everyone just got that information. And I am actually so surprised that in tribe there is no word for West. What um, a great thing to hear. And I'm so surprised that I didn't knew at this age as well. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening each one of us with your knowledge. So, finally, last but not the least, I will move to Joginder ji, and I will request Joginder ji to share the message of Sadhguru Mata Shridas ji Maharaj for the Youth for Water Plus for youth.
Thank you, Lala ji. Sadhguru Mata Sudiksha ji Maharaj has blessed the entire humanity and the youth who are connected in this workshop. He said that youth guided by truth. This is the objective of every youth, that he must be guided by the truth only. He may be misguided by some people, some illusions, some delusions, where he may act based on something which is not true. But when truth is known to him, when the truth is the basis of any action, that will lead to the benefit of the humanity. Humanity will be benefited. And as we are talking about the water only right now for last 1 hour or so, I will be happy to share with you that with the blessings of Sadhguru Mata Sudiksha Ji Maharaj, on 26th of February this year only, we had Project AMRIT across India in 1100 locations, more than 700 cities of the country, where about 3.5 lakh people joined hands in cleaning the water bodies, which are either natural or the human-made, man-made water reservoirs. 3.5 lakh people in a single day across country, they participated together. The people were old people, young people, children, uh, belonging to all caste, all creed, all genders. Again, the message from Her Holiness is, I am quoting her, बुजुर्गों का होश और नौजवानों का जोश. When these two things, the experience of older generation and the strength of the younger generation, when they come together, they can make change in everything. They can bring the change in the society. They can bring change in our approach to every problem in the world and our perspective. I saw in that Project Amrit on that day, when we came together, when we joined hands, we were able to clean 1100 water bodies in a single day. Sorry. I'm sorry. Guru Mataji's blessings are with us, and she has said that all youth may be guided by the truth and they lead life based on the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joginder ji. And as you correctly said, Buzurgon ka hosh and Yuvaon ka josh. I think we have a perfect panel, both rich experience and empowered youth. And as you said, Project Amrut, and I remember on that day I was also a part of that cleaning activity. and people really enjoyed. And as you said, every age joined there, and after that I can see that effect. Some of my friend in my locality, they said, oh, wow, it's definitely there is some ground level work they have done. So thank you so much, and thank you so much giving us the opportunity as an organization to be a part of that. So with this, we are come to an end. So finally, as I said, I am from Tata Stripe. In my work, I have seen and I am associated with thousands of youth across one of the most climate change and impacted state of India. I have found much to admire in the youth. Their spirit is willing, their flesh is strong, and the mind is pure. They embodied the spirit of Amrit. And as all the panelists today shared, spirituality can be the bridge that make them leader and the guardian of pure water for a better future. Thank you so much for being in this panel. Finally, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much.